awesome tutorial from Olatech Concepts. My name is Tobiloba Obisheson, your online graphic tutor. So today we shall be designing something very pretty, amazing. So this is our flyer series, social media flyer series. So we are going to dive in right now. So today I shall be teaching us something very extraordinary. We call it the grayscale. That is, when we mean what we mean by grayscale is that you design using just the default colors, that is black and white. Then when you use the black and white, when you are the advantage of using a grayscale is that it doesn't you would not think about the kind of color you want to do. It doesn't give you any problem of color. You just design, then after designing it to your taste, then you add some beautiful touches, like some beautiful secondary colors to it. So I'm going to be showing us the magic right now. So without much ado, let's dive in. So I would like to set my canvas, that is the image size, to 2000 by 2000. So I'm going to be going to my image size. Oh, it's already in 2000 by 2000. That is a square. So I'm going to click on OK. Now let's say we are designing this for a post that will be created and pasted on Instagram. The size will be 1080 by 1080 pixel. Okay, let's use that. So right now I'm going to create a shape, okay, a square. So I'm going to change the color, give it a gray color. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to log this right now. Now to make the tutorial very much shorter, so I had to type in all the text first, then all that. Okay, so let's move. So now I've logged this. I'm going to create another shape, the radius. Okay, don't need that. Okay, so I'm going to place this here. So I'm going to give it leave it at white. Then I'm going to add some shadow effect to it, black. So I'm going to increase it a little bit. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. So I'm going to duplicate this, bring it down here. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this, going to turn it around. Okay, okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, now I'm going to create another shape. Okay, so I'm going to give it a color. So let me give it black. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to give it a color too. Okay, so now I'm going to create another shape. Reduce it a little bit, then I'm going to place it here. Okay, I think it's good over there. So I'm going to create another shape again. So I'll pick this. Okay, okay, now I'm going to bring in our first icon, which is a phone. Okay, so I'm going to increase it a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to bring in our first text. Bring in some of the text now. Okay, okay, I'm going to place this here. Leave it at black. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this a little bit. Okay, so let me zoom in. So I'm going to bring this a bit up here. So I'm going to increase the size. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to the middle. I'm going to, okay, let me adjust this first. Okay, then I'm going to bring this here. Let me zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to give this a white color. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. Let me zoom in again. Let me change the font to something bold. Okay, let me zoom in. Let me increase the size. Okay, let me reduce the size a little bit. Okay, Let me adjust it. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the next text. Going to reduce the size. Then I'm going to change the font size, font type. Okay, so we are looking good right here. So I'm going to bring in let me see. Okay, so I'm going to create another shape. Here will be circle. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the size. Okay, so let me zoom in. I'm going to make this black. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, so I'm going to add a text to it. So let me zoom in. So I'm going to change the font. Note I'm using a modern font. I think I'll talk much more on this in my book titled Font Mastery Guide. That should have been given to you in the class. So I urge everyone to read that book very well so you understand more of what we are doing here. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I'm going to change the color to white. Okay, so I'm going to change the font type. Okay, I've changed that before, so I'm going to reduce it. Okay, so I'm going to set the alignment at the center. Alignment center. So the space is too much, I want to reduce it. Okay, I like it like that. So let me reduce the size a little bit. Okay, okay, let me zoom out. Oh, it's not well centralized. Okay, let me zoom out right now. Okay, so okay, now I'm going to create another shape, or let me duplicate this, exactly this shape. That's what I need. So I'm going to reduce the size, or better still, let me create one. So let me zoom in. This is not looking good for me. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the size. Okay, so let me zoom in. Okay, so let me duplicate this text. Okay, bring this here. Going to make this black. Then I'll make this white. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this again. Or better still, let me bring in my text from here. So I'm going to change the font. Okay, let me zoom out. So I'm going to bring in some of the icon right now. Okay, so going to bring this down. I'm going to make this white. Okay, so same goes for the rest. Okay, So let me bring out my text. Okay. So let me lock the other ones. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to change the color to white. Okay. So I'm going to change the font. So I'm going to adjust it. Okay, let me increase the size. Okay. So I'm going to bring in this. Time should be in the middle, and bring it here. Okay, and this is the right icon for time. So I'm going to place this somewhere here. So let me zoom in. So let me zoom out. So I'm going to take this here. So okay. So date. So I'm going to change the font and the color too. So I'm going to reduce the size. Okay, so okay, so let me adjust this a little bit up. Okay, so the next thing I'm having is the venue. Okay, so do the same thing to it. Okay, so I'm going to bring the location icon. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this down here. Ensure that the alignment is in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to change the color of this to white. Okay, so I'm going to change the font to something bold. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down here. Okay, let me reduce the size a little bit. Okay, I'm going to zoom in now to see what I'm doing well. Okay, like this is good, so I'm going to zoom out. Then I'm going to bring, okay, let me duplicate this and write the time. Let me write 8 p.m. Okay, so let me bring it to its rightful position. Okay, so like to align this to the middle. Okay, adjust this too. Okay, adjust this a little bit. Okay, now let me bring in my other text. Okay, ensure that this is aligned in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to change the font size and the font type. Okay, let me reduce it a little bit. Okay, so let me just adjust it a little bit. Okay, now we are getting good right here. Oh, one of my icon is missing here. Let me bring it back. Okay, okay, so now the next thing to do, okay, now let me bring in my, let me see, okay, let's bring in our logo. So reduce it. So I'm going to zoom in right here to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this once again. Okay, I'm going to give this, okay, leave it like this. Okay, so now our design is looking very beautiful, and here comes the end of the tutorial. I hope you are enjoying this tutorial. Have a nice time and creative day. Now your assignment is that you will give this you submit this, you do this, something like this, you replicate this one. Then the next thing for you to do is add in suitable color and add in any other thing that you think you want to be there, and submit it to me in my DM. Have a wonderful day ahead. Have fun. Have creative day. Bye. See you in the next class.